discussing about the waterfall model in software development. Waterfall model is innovated in 1917 Depstar. Waterfall model is a new, non-iterative, traditional approach to solve the software development. Waterfall model is a different phases are there, like requirement gathering first phase. In this phase, we can gather all the requirements which clients want. Second phase is the system design. In this phase, we can make a design for each requirement which client will be doing. Next phase is implementation. In this phase, we can make the software as a requirement of client and coding, etc. Implementation. Next is testing. In this phase, we can develop the software. We can testing this phase by using the debugging, etc. Next phase is and the maintenance. After the testing phase, we can deploy our product, our software to be in clients, and last phase is the maintenance phase. These are the various phases in the waterfall model. Now we can discuss about the advantages or disadvantages in waterfall model. The main advantage of the waterfall model is a simple way to understand. We can easily identify the phases which works for developing the software. Second, simple documentation. And third one is a measurable process time. We can easily find out the how much time to require for the developing the software. Now we can discuss about the disadvantage of the waterfall model. The main disadvantage is a less flexibility, because when we going about the one phase to another phase, the second phase, we cannot be going to reverse direction. So one phase is a complete, we cannot be changing the requirements as a client's need. So it is the main disadvantages. High delivery time, because the deployment phase is at the end, so we can have the software at the end, so the delivery time is very high and the cost will be going to very high. And last disadvantage is we can find the errors at the last in the application of waterfall model. So we can this type of the model we can use in the small business, small companies, where we can easily identify the requirements is not changing in all the software development phase. So where this situation, this scenario, we can use the waterfall model, because we cannot be changing the requirement as in software development process. I hope you will be to know about this waterfall model. Thank you. I am telling about the V model in software development. V model stands for verification and validation model. we saw the in waterfall model which is inflexible, and the development, the testing phase comes at the end of the end of the development. So we cannot easily find out the errors are there. First of all, in this V model we can the every phase are correspond to testing model. As you can see in this diagram, the left side of this diagram is a development phase, and right side of the diagram is a testing phase. Each phases are correspond to be a testing phase. So this is the V model, because this diagram is as can English alphabetical V, so we can easily say that it is a V model. The main advantages are for the V model is we can easily find out the clear relation between the development phase and testing phases are there. Second was the easy to planning, early test planning. So we can every phase after we can easily find out the testing phases are there, and the development cost are going to be a very low. Third phase is a well-defined process. With well-defined process, early test cases, testing, and each phase correspond testing phase. Now we can show the disadvantages of V model. Main disadvantage of V model we can see in the water model. Just like V model, we cannot be adding this some requirements as changing. Means we cannot easily making the changes in these phases. The main disadvantage is a late feedback, because the testing phase is at the end. So from each stages are going, we can at the last we can find out the feedback. So late feedback is the main disadvantage. Plus, thank you.
Hello, my name is Depstar and my ID number is 22DCE107, and my topic is action program. So I draw the diagram and explain to what is action programming and how is using a software. why we use in a software development life cycle in a software model. Because many models like waterfall model and prototype model fail, so we use is a action program, and it is a very useful and very simple to understand because it is a only 4 step. If any person and user or team in planning and after planning design whatever is the software and what is the user requirement, after design coding implement, and now also coder find whatever is the problem and what is the disadvantage, and after testing is after release and now software inclusion. It is developed in 1990s, so used in a very easy way and we can understand very deeply in a software mode. And many model like this model also some pros and cons. The pros like advantages. These are 4 advantages: adaptability and flexibility. Whatever is a user requirement, we can planning and after it design. And similar way, whatever is a design and whatever is a thoughts, we can adaptability and try to maximize way is a thought and whatever is a product we get or we can apply and what we can give the product. Customer satisfaction. What is the customer satisfaction? We coding and testing, and these are steps are very minimized compared to waterfall model. We have 7 steps like requirement get brief. After analysis, design, development, testing, management and deployment, and maintenance and deployment. This is a very like a flow. We don't need any speed. We are customer satisfaction and we can maximize to these things. Reduce risk. Whatever steps and now we can apply this formula and continuous feedback about this project. And main points is like a disadvantage in this cultural managing those things are like cultural activities and cultural experience like a disadvantage and like facing these problems, and many XP is not applicable in all projects, but these are 2 disadvantages. So thank you, and I hope you understand XP extreme programming.
Hello, my name is Samarth Popat and my ID number is 22DCE091. Today I will tell you about the incremental model of software process model. So incremental model is a waterfall model, but it will divided into several parts. So first we have focused on the core feature of the client need. So we will develop first the core model of the client need, then we will develop another model of the incremental process. So now it is followed by step. So we will start with the requirement of the client, then we will divide it into several parts, like first we have designed the core part, then we will implement it.
Hello everyone, my name is Urmil Sakare and my ID is 22DC102, and I will be sharing some brief information about two software development models. And very first one is iterative software development model, and second one is agile development. So we will start with the first one, iterative model. Iterative means software where the project is divided into small parts, and each development cycle, each of the parts follow the software development life cycle, which is requirement gathering, design, implementation, testing, and deployment. These are some main software development life cycle. Requirement means we are grabbing some information from the consumer or client, what he wants for a software, what are the solution he needs. And the second one is design. Design is basically dependent on the departments, which is there are various departments of the design. Likewise we are thinking, likewise we can consider the where development part, design, testing, and deployment part. These are the life cycle that the iterative model follows. The process is repeatedly iteratively, which each iteration building upon the knowledge and knowledge gained from the previous one. And here is the diagram of iterative model. Feasibility study. It comes then the next phase is requirement analysis and specification. As I told, that it will follow the software development life cycle, which means it will follow the step-by-step procedure of development cycle. The when very say first one is requirement gathering, analysis, and specification, and the next phase is design. As I told, second phase is design, coding and unit testing, irrigation of and irrigation and system testing, and the last one is maintenance. In the maintenance part, there will be checking it is connected with, as shown in the graph, it is connected with the requirement analysis and the specification, design, coding, and irrigation system. Feasibility study means what we are yes, we can say in the software development life cycle. The very brief information about explanation about the iterative waterfall model is a software development approach that combines the sequential step of a traditional waterfall model, which is also dependent on the software development life cycle. We have discussed about it. It allows the improvement and changes to be made at each stage of the development process. Instead of waiting until the end of the project, instead the waiting means it doesn't wait for the each and every steps for the end of the project. Real life example of iterative waterfall model could be building a new website from a small business. The process might look like this. We have shown in the here. Requirement gathering. It's a very first stage of software development life cycle. We have discussed about it. The requirement gathering. This is the first stage where the business owner and developer meet to discuss the goal and requirement of the website. Either it could be we can say that it could be a e-commerce website. Either anything can be hospital site, blood bank site, food preservation, food delivery, many things. Design. The second step is design. In this stage, the developer create a primarily design of the website based on the requirement gathering in the stage one. We have gathered requirement from the first stage, and we will implement in the we will do some designing and rough idea about the customer requirement. And the third step is implementation. In this stage, the development being to build the website based on the design created on the second step. We have created in the previous step, we have created a raw data about website, which we have gathered from the requirement of the user, or it could be a client. and we will implement that in a developer. I have already said that there is department in different department in the software companies, like they have a development department, design department, which basically work upon the UI and UX. The fourth is testing. Once the website has been built, it is tested to ensure that it meets the requirement and functionality properly. Like for example, user has said about e-commerce site and e-commerce site, then the site must be containing of e-commerce, like e-commerce. There should be a add to cart, product, payment gateway, comparison, and many more things. Then the next part is deployment. The site website is deployed and made it live to publicly. Uh, and Last one is review and improvement. After the website has been live for a while, the business owners and developer review its performance and make necessary improvements. If customer who wants to modify their site, we have provided work. If we have provided work and customer want to modify and want to add additional some features in the website, he can talk with the developers in this review and improvement section. And the advantages of this model is a feedback path. It is basically we are following the software development life cycle, and it's this model is similar to waterfall model. So the feedback and review is a last stage, and the iterative waterfall model is very simple to understand and use. And it's a highly cost effective to change the plan or requirement in the model. Moreover, it's a best suited for agile organization. Agile means aggressively or vastly adapting change, communication, and the development, and adapting changes quickly. Well organized in this model, less time is consumed on the documenting, and the team can spend more time on the development and design. The risk reduction, quality assurance. The risk reduction is done in this model by the by identification and mitigation of risk, reducing the likelihood of costly errors later in the development process. Quality assurance. The improvement iterative approach promotes quality assurance by providing opportunities for testing and feedback, which means there is opportunity of after testing and feedback, user can also add and modify their site by meeting the developers, and likewise they want to change the site. The result is higher quality and product. Improved customer satisfaction, as we all know that the if we want to modify, we can modify it by that, we can achieve the customer satisfaction. Predictable outcome, faster time to market, easy to manage. It's easy to manage. Easy to manage because it follows the software development life cycle, and it is kind of related to the software waterfall model. In the waterfall model, we follow the step-by-step procedure. For using it, we have to we have to make a department of the each of the stages, and we can iteratively follow that. And disadvantage is difficult to incorporate change request. The major drawback of iterative waterfall model is that all the requirement must be clearly stated before starting the development phase. Customer may change requirement after some time, but the iterative waterfall model doesn't not leave any scope to incorporate change requests that are made after the deployment phase start. Incremental delivery not support. This is a very important. This is the main drawback of the waterfall model, waterfall iterative waterfall model. The full software is completely developed and tested before the delivery to the customer. This is not there is no scope of any intermediate delivery. So customer have to wait along for getting the software. Overlapping of a phase not supported. Iterative waterfall model assumes that one phase can start after completion of the previous phase. Means if we are gathering the requirement, we could not design and we could not feedback as I that's a simple thing. Risk handling. Okay, now I will be sharing some information about agile model of a software development. So what is agile modeling? Agile modeling is a set of practice for effective communication and collaboration with an agile software model development team. It focuses on creating a simple and visual development models that capture essential aspects of a team and facilitate communication among the team members. It prioritizes customer feedback and delivers small, functional, incremental of a software at a regular interval. Means it at a regular interval, it will be an incremental model which is a working in a working condition. The agile model is based on the agile manifesto, which outline core values and principles that guided the development process. It follow the development process like I have shown in the diagram. The very first one is plan. Planning is basically dependent on the requirement gathering. Likewise, we can relate it with the waterfall model, and I have also discussed in iterative model. The in iterative model, there is requirement gathering was first part. In this planning include the requirement gathering also. After the planning and requirement gathering, we will be shifting on the design, which we will be making some rough ideas and rough design about. We will be discussing with the team about design, and we will be gathering some information from the stage one, which is requirement gathering and plan. After the design, there will be a development, which will be held by the which will be under the development department, which is working on the UX and UI. UX and UI. There will be developers who will develop the code which customer want, and after that there will be a testing team which tests the software, which whether it is running whether it is running bug free. There will be is there any error, they will resolve it. After that there it will be deployed to the customer. After that there will be a customer review. If the customer shows the green flag, we will be launching the application, and there will be after that, if a customer want to change or modify after the giving the definition of requirement, customer want to change anything, he will be shared after the review section. And after that we have I have also already explained it. Each sprint typically lasts 2 to 4 weeks, and the result is potentially shippable product increment. Agile methodologies such as a Scrum or Kanban provide framework for implementing Agile principle. We have seen Agile principle, there is many Agile principle like a customer satisfaction, small increment on very big span, customer face-to-face communication between the teams and customer also, understanding proper requirement of the customer. And next one is communication. I already told that, and teamwork, and many more things are there in the Agile principle. Key aspect of the Agile manifesto include the valuing individuals and interaction over process and tools, working software over compressed documentation, customer collaboration over contract negotiation. What is the meaning? I will be explaining. Customer collaboration over contract negotiation means there will be a negotiation also, but there is very first thing will be customer satisfaction and responding to change or following plan. If a customer want to change in between some phases of a planning, design, and development, customer can change it by adding some additional requirement in the planning procedure. Now planning procedure will shift to the design, and design will go to the development. Advantages of agile modeling: flexibility and adaptability. And agile allows for changes and adjustment through the development process. I have already told that customer want to change in between the development plan and design, he can do that. Customer satisfaction: continuous feedback from the customer ensure that the delivered product align with their expectation, leading to higher satisfaction. Is there I previously I have discussed about there will be interval and providing interval of software development, providing to the customer that it matches the requirement customer said in the meeting. Faster time to market, increment model, and regular release enable quickly deliver of functional software, allowing for earlier market entry. Collaboration and communication, which is the which is main which is main thing in the agile modeling. There will be a communication, there would be a good communication between the team and project manager, and there will be a definitely good communication. And after, if we have good communication, very good communication skill, by that we can easily understand the requirement of the client. And collaborative and communication, it is also applied in the customer and teamwork also. If there is a good communication between the good communication between the developer and project manager, the product will satisfy the customer. Reduce the risk. Iterative nature of agile allows the early detection and the correction of issue, reducing the risk of the project failure. In this deployment phase, deployment testing phase, after the testing phase, it will deploy to the customer, and customer will review that. If there is some error and it doesn't meet the customer's requirement, the customer can also change, and he can change, adapt the change. Continuous improvement. If a customer want to after we get the feedback from the customer of a small interval of the development model, we have come from the requirement, we can follow it in the loops to contribute the continuous implementation in the both development process and the product itself. There will be a there will be a use there will be a repeatedly continuous implementation in the development model. These are some disadvantages of agile modeling: lack of predictability. The flexible nature of agile can make it challenging to predict the exact time and cost of project completion. If a customer wants to do some modification and want to extend the project, there will be a more cost and more time in the development process, and it will also lead to the lack of predictability. Documentation challenges. Agile often relies on working software over compressive documentation, which means it follow the compressive documentation, which may lead to insufficient document for the future reference or understanding. If a customer changes mind and he wants to do some increment and fully modified website, there will be a different modes of documentation companies will be providing, and there will be a more cost and more time waste. Dependency of customer availability. Continuous customer involvement is a crucial, and if customer are not available for feedback, it can hide. If a customer is not available for their feedback, there would be a if a customer said that he is not available for the feedback, it can hinder process. Means it would not match with the customer requirement if it doesn't review it. Skill dependencies. Success of agile development relies heavily on the skills and expertise of a team members, and lack of these skills can impact the effectiveness of the approaches. Scope creep. Agile's flexibility can lead to the scope creep, which additionally feature or change We have already discussed about the incremental model, which is which follow the workflow of the waterfall model. There is also different models like incremental model, V model, agile modeling, FDS, ASD, lean software development model, feature driven development model. This could be a script. This will need a scope script. Not suitable for a large project. Agile may face challenges when applied to large and complex projects where details planning and structure are often required.
Hello, my name is Kunsha and my ID is 22DCE111, and I'm going to elaborate a spiral model which is basically called meta model. Why we are going to call this meta model? It will be elaborated in future. Okay, so first of all we are going to understand overview of our spiral model, and this model is basically called risk model because the second phase of our model is basically risk solving. Okay, so we can basically call this model is a risk model, and this model basically consists of two different model, which is a waterfall model and iterative development model. Why we call that these two models, this model is consist of this. It is elaborated, it also is also elaborated in future. Okay, we call this method a spiral method because the diagram of this method is consist of a spiral, and this model is basically proposed and founded by the Barry Boehm, and it is basically characterized by a helix structure, or we can say spirals, and also this model is reflecting the idea of iterating through multiple cycles. Okay, and this is the diagram of our model, and we this model is a consist of basically cycles, and we divided this diagram into four parts. The first part is determine objective and identity alternative solution. In this part we are going to understand the requirements of our customer for the software project, and we trying to make a possible solution of it. And now in the second part, we identify and resolve a risk of the requirements of our customers. And in this step we are going to make a duplicate of our software project, so we can solve the risk of our possible solutions of our customers, and so our project is harmless, being harmless. And the third step is review and plan for next sorry the third step is develop next level of product. In this step in this step we are going to create a next version of our project. This is and the last step of our this model is to take a review of our project, and on the basis of which we call feedback. On the basis of feedback we are going to decide that whether we have to repeat this cycle. Hello, my name is Kunsha, and my ID is 22DC111, and I am going to elaborate another topic, or another model, which is basically called feature driven development. In the short form of this is FDD. It is a basically iterative and incremental approach which focus on working features, and it basically focus on features of the requirement, on the basis of a requirement of our customers. Means the features of a software project, and this model was developed by Jeff De Luca and Peter Code in 1990. It is basically for a large project, as similar as a spiral model. This FDD model is for the large project, and it basically consists of well suited and defined resources, we require a coder, we require a specific team of we require basically a specific team which have characteristics of specific features, and this is basically a diagram of this FDD. We are going to divide this whole model into 5 parts. In the first part, the first part is a development and overall model. Like we basically develop a overall model on the basis of the requirements of our customer, and second, we are going to make a list of the software project, and the third one is a plan by feature. In this step, our manager is going to divide or they make or he or she make a set of features, and this is going to basically make a set of features, and it is allocate a specific team which have characteristics for characteristics according to this feature. And in the fourth step, in the basically fourth step, we are designed by is basically designed by structure. All the team are going to design our features as per requirement, and it is a basically incremental or a one by one process, which after designing for one feature, we are going to jump on the another feature. And the last step is build by feature. In this step, we are going to code our software. We are going to basically call our software project, and at the end of this and now the advantages of FDD. The first advantages is basically emphasize on feature. This model is focuses on features of our customers software project. So our project quality is very good, and it is a reduced risk, as similar as spiral model. It is also reduces the risk, because we divided this model into 5 parts. And the last one is scalability, and this is for a large project, because large project have a more feature connectivity, and it have a more feature. Now what is there is a two or a more disadvantage, but I have mentioned mainly two disadvantages. First one is a time consuming. It is a very time consuming procedure, because we have 5 parts. We have to make a set of features which have a same characteristics, and then assigning a team, etc, etc. And another disadvantages is dependency for strong leadership. If we don't have any strong leader, then we are not able to connect a proper team with a proper set of feature. So our project quality is going to decrease. So this is the FDD.